I'm going to be making a sea glass picture today. I got this kit off of Amazon, so that's how it's supposed to look when it's finished. So in the kit you get your instructions, and there's 2 little bottles of resin there. So there's those, and a little mixing cup. We've got a stand and paintbrush. I'm assuming that's gloves. And then you've got some mixing sticks, and we've got a little dropper, a couple of turtles, some quite horrible looking plastic starfish. Won't be using those. Plasticky shell. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using that either. Another plastic shell. And we've got some tweezers, some blue sea glass, and some other little shell pieces there. They look quite pretty, to be fair. Right, let's get the frame out. So let's get this unpacked and then we can get started. I've taken off the protective cover that was on the frame and put it back how it says. And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to use the plastic starfish that came with it. So I've got my own starfish and shells that I'm going to use instead. So I've also mixed up the resin from the 2 little bottles, and that totaled about 30 ml that you get in there. And it says just to pour it straight over here and spread it around. I'm not sure what's going to make it stop from going down the sides, but we'll see. I think it says just to use enough to cover the frame. So I'm just going to work that all the way round. It says to use the brush to squish it out to the sides. So let's get some of this. I'm not sure what's going to stop it from going down the edge of that frame, but we'll see how we go. I think there was a couple of comments in the reviews that said it didn't seem like there was enough resin, so might have to mix up some of my own once the top layer's cured, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's just get this all the way to the edges first. So that's all covered. It does seem a decent amount, to be fair, and I have still got that amount left in there. So next we're going to add these little shells down the bottom. So let's sprinkle these down here. Hopefully you get enough to do a decent amount. I have got some extra white crystally bits that I'm going to use if I need to. So let's just squish these around. Try and fill in as many gaps as I can. And there is this bit here that it's the bit that attaches the, what do you call it, the arm thing that holds it up. But I think the idea is that you take that backing off after, so it's a clear frame, so you can see through it. So, but if not, I think you can do it either way, but you could always put a turtle over that bit, I suppose. Right, okay. That's as many as I can spread around there. So let's see how far these blue sea glass goes. So let's sprinkle some of these over the top. Put all of those in. Right, okay, so it seems like they're a bit shy on the stones for sure. So let's just spread these around as best I can. Don't really want that great big gap up the top. So I'm going to add some of I've got this decorative filler, and these are, I think this is, I'm not sure if it's sea glass or if it's just crushed glass. So I'm going to do a layer of white up the top just to fill that in a bit more. Pop that on there. Right, I think I'll do a bit more than that. Let's add some more of that onto there. Fill in some of these gaps with the clear as well. And I've also got some of this. This is glass glitter. So I think I'm gonna add some of this in as well. Some sprinkles of that. So I think as far as what you get with the actual kit itself, it is good if you've got some little bits extra to add in. Otherwise it probably would look a bit sparse. So let's just add what we can in, just to make it look how I want it. Let's add a bit of the finer stuff up the top. I think the idea is nice in principle to have a kit, but it does need to be a kit that fills up the frame. Right, okay, I think that would do with those. And right, let's put a thing there. He's going to need some more resin. So let's just pop a bit more resin over the top, because he's not going to stay there like that. Just drizzle some all over. And then place him there. That's better. He sticks there now. And let's have another one up the top here. Right, well, they definitely seem right about the amount of resin that you get. I don't think I'm going to be able to stick down too many shells in here, because the resin is just not particularly thick enough, I don't think. Right, let's pop a couple more in. And I think I want to add a starfish. Which way does it go? That way? Let's pop a starfish down there and hope he stays. And let's pop another one up here somewhere. Right, tiny little bit of resin left. So let's just drizzle the rest over the top. Definitely could have done with some more resin. Once this is cured, I think I'll probably mix up a slightly bit more and then add it. Right, okay, so let's leave that to cure, and then we'll see what we need to add resin wise once that's cured. So I'll see you back in a little while, but it's not looking too bad, is it, at the moment? So yeah, see you back in a little while. This is all cured up now, and it does seem really thin at the top here, and it also does look like it's seeped underneath there as well. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get this back bit off, but this is how they showed doing it in their demo video on Amazon. So I think it is going to need some extra resin. So I've mixed up some Let's Resin 1:1 epoxy resin, and I'm just going to go over the whole thing again with this. So today's video is part of the Friendship Express train that's organised by myself and Susie from Serendipity Resin Creations, Tina from Pour Resin with Love, and Amy from Resonating Art by Amy M. So there will be a playlist in my description box for you to check out all the other lovely makes for this train. So let's just get as much of this down as I can. Just spread that over. Oh, and I did add an extra shell, and I've added a couple of like pearl beads in there as well. So let's just get this last little bit out. Pop that up the top there. And let's just give that a quick torch. Pop any of those bubbles. Although I'm not too worried about the bubbles, because it being a water theme, it won't matter too much if there are some. Right, okay, so we'll leave this to cure now, and then I'll see you back when it's ready to take the backing off. This is all cured up now, and this backing was an absolute nightmare to get off. I had to prise a screwdriver under here, which damaged the frame, and all the resin had seeped underneath like I thought it would. I'm not sure why they show it doing it this way in the video, but that's how they showed it, so that's how I did it. But all the resin seeped under that much, and then all this stuck to the back of here, so then I had to spend ages trying to pick it all off, which did scratch the perspex quite a bit up the top there. Not sure if you can see that, but yes. So I don't well, you definitely can't have the option of having either now, so that's useless. But I'm pleased with the end result. It looks nice, but is that just because I've added extra bits to it? Probably. Would I have been happy if I just used the stuff that come with it? Probably not. Would I ever buy another one? Because there is other designs. There's a seahorse, and there's a heart. I think there's like a wave. Yeah, I don't think I would buy another one. I think the best thing would be to do is just get yourself some perspex, get an old frame, get some glass, and just do it yourself. And if I was to do it again, I would just put the perspex down into the frame, put a bead of UV all the way round so it didn't have anywhere to go, and do it that way. But first time doing anything like this, but yeah, I am pleased with the end result. And then that would just sit on the frame like that. So that's how it looks. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.